Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I got a bit distracted tonight. I was doing other things, I had plans, and then YouTube brought up Anne Heche's 2001 autobiography. Someone put it up on YouTube, the audiobook, and I was interested because I knew a little bit about her, but I didn't know a lot about her, and I didn't particularly like her as an actress and as a person. The interviews and that I saw of her, she seemed very over the top, and she talked a lot, and she seemed really anxious, and her energy, there was something about her that kind of bothered me, and I never really liked her, but then I felt bad about that. And the whole experience with her being with Ellen, and then sort of being with men and then going back to men after that, it seemed like to a lot of people that she was just using Ellen for attention, because she got with her right pretty much the same week that she came out on her show, which was like big news all around the world, and going out with her really put her into another stratosphere, really, even though she'd already gotten a very important role and was just about to premiere this film, and she still got another role after that, because Harrison Ford didn't care about what was happening in the press, because she got absolutely trashed for going out with Ellen, and it was just a huge, big controversial thing. So I wasn't sure what to make of her, and how she died also, that she had drugs in her system, that she seemed to have 2 accidents before the final one, and she was speeding down the street and ran into a house. I don't know, I just sort of thought, I kind of want to know this woman, I want to know who she was. And the great thing was, she did the audiobook herself, so it's kind of bizarre. It's like, this woman died, I never met her, but I feel like I spent the evening with her telling me her life, because it's a 5-hour, 20-minute audiobook, and she really read it well, she wrote the book well. It was kind of amazing. She had a fascinating, disturbing, bizarre life. She was raised by an extremely very religious mother. She seemed to change her beliefs depending on what her husband, oh God, it's so messy. But yeah, she, God, I can't possibly tell her life story in a couple of minutes. But yeah, she had a very sheltered life. She moved around multiple times, like 10, 11 times. Her dad seemed to be in another city, living another life. He seemed to be some sort of, in her words, sexual deviant. He did claim, it was claimed that he was gay, and he was in the closet, and that he was hiding his whole life. He apparently, allegedly, supposedly died of AIDS in about 1983, 84. He allegedly, supposedly molested Anne, which doesn't really make sense if he was a gay man, but she described him as a sexual deviant, and being gay was just one of the things that he did. So her sister says it didn't happen. She doesn't believe it happened. Anne's memories are a bit difficult for her, because she did seem to go through some sort of abuse, and part of her dealing with that abuse was to dissociate and to become another person. And she disassociated so bad after confronting her mother with the accusation of sexual abuse, because she accused her mother of being aware of it and not doing anything about it. She had a break, and she ended up wandering through the desert and ending up in some strange woman's house, and then the police picked her up, and she believed she was a being known as, I think, Celestria, and that she was from or in contact with the 4th dimension, and she was going to be taken away to heaven in a spaceship. So that really happened. She was arrested, she was taken away, she was put in hospital for a while. She came out of it, she snapped out of it, but she had a lot of issues, and she seemed to have a lot of issues. The way she was raised, her mother she still apparently does conversion therapy for gay men, that's a whole nother issue. And they don't seem to be talking, because after the autobiography came out, where she said that accused her father of what she accused him of, and she went into a fair amount of detail, and the belief that that couldn't have happened without her mother knowing, and it's fascinating. But I think the best part of it though was her career, getting into her career, the excitement that she had for working in Hollywood. She apparently took up acting because her father, who met Brooke Shields' mother, because Brooke Shields' mother hung out for a lot of gay men apparently. He was driving Brooke Shields to school some mornings, and he was so enamored with her that Anne sort of felt like, wow, maybe if I become an actress, because she didn't even get to watch films. She wasn't allowed to watch movies because apparently they were sinful, so she didn't go to the theatre. She didn't really see any movies when she was growing up. So she didn't really know who Brooke Shields was or what that was, but she just saw how her father admired this little movie star, so she wanted to be one. So she ended up becoming an actress, and she was doing quite well before she met Ellen, but and she could act, but there was something about her, I wasn't sure, something about her just didn't work for me, and I felt bad about that. And now looking at her character, I mean, through how she describes herself and through the stories that she told about her life, which presumably most of them are true, but it's hard to tell. Some people are accusing her of mental illness and of having false memories and so forth. But she just had a fascinating, bizarre life, and how she came out even half as normal as she did and survived as long as she did and was as healthy as she was is kind of remarkable and interesting. And I'm glad that I listened to it. It was fascinating, and hearing the author read it, like I said, was kind of amazing. I just had to talk about it. I just had to have a little bit of YouTube therapy, do a little review. A lot of people apparently are reading it. The book that is obviously out of print 20 years later apparently is selling for hundreds and hundreds of dollars on eBay because people want to read it. Why they want to read it when they could listen to the audiobook, I don't know. Maybe they didn't see it on YouTube. But it was fascinating, and I was kind of inspired also by her drive to direct and write and to push through the mental issues that she had. And the thing with Ellen was kind of interesting as well. This was going to be a 5-minute review, but it's not happening. Was fascinating. They got together like it was instant. Ellen had moved into the house that she nearly bought for her fiancé, who she left about a year and a half before that. They snapped together instantly and were like a married couple, and she got with Ellen right at a huge point in her fame, but also a down point in her career, because after that her show, the ratings dropped, her show was cancelled, she couldn't get work for a while, and she went through a very bad period, and that wasn't good for the relationship, wasn't good for Anne. And she left Ellen because she said to Ellen, look, I need my own friends, I need space, I need a room to write and to sort of do things separate from you, because apparently her life was all about her, because she was trying to help her get through this anxiety of losing her sitcom, losing her career, thinking she wouldn't work in that town again and so forth, thinking that coming out was a bad thing. All these things that happened from all that, it was all about Ellen, and it was like she was the traditional 40s wife, and it was all about the husband, and Ellen was the husband. And apparently she said to Ellen, I need these things, and Ellen said, well, I don't want a wife I don't want to be a woman who wants those things, like to have her own career and her own artistic life, which is kind of sad and staggering that she would say that. If she said that, because this is Anne's version of the story, and she just said, well, goodbye, and that was it. And she went off, and not long after that she had a breakdown, and she was walking through the desert. But then after that, I don't know, she seemed to have recovered from that and seemed to not have any big dramas after that. But apparently she had issues with addiction. It suggested that she did, and she apparently had fentanyl and cocaine in her system when she had the 2 minor car crashes, and then when she ran the car into the house and then died. I mean, she died. She was taken off life support just a little while ago because they finally found organs. She was only being kept alive on life support for so she could donate her organs, because she had basically had so many fumes and heat that it destroyed her mind, her brain, and she was essentially brain dead. But they kept her on the life support so she could donate the organs while they looked for someone. So it's pretty sad. She was an amazing, interesting person. She was a talented person, and it's really sad that she died this way. And it's so weird. I feel like I know her now after listening to her tell her story and her life story, and it was fascinating. And I just wanted to talk about it. I've talked way too long. You should listen to it. I will put a link in the information. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.